All right, the Sunday slate of Week 7 is in the books, and the NFL is in the upside down. I've never seen Stranger Things, but I'm just using context clues of the name Upside Down. That's what I feel like the NFL is right now.
Yeah.
The Jets are 5-2. The Packers just lost to the Commanders. Tom Brady can't put up a touchdown. What is going on in this league, Douglas?
Dude, I don't know. I don't have a single clue.
This league, I mean, I understand the Eagles didn't play today, so that might change it, but and the Chiefs look good. This for like maybe the first time in my life, but one of the times, I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who the final four teams are going to be alive.
Not a clue
It could
either.
be a ton of different teams.
Yep.
So which is good. This is what the NFL always wanted. They wanted a ton of parity. But all right, let's get into the betting records. This week so far, we each have one game left. I'm on the Patriots tomorrow night. You're on the Bears. I'm 8-7 so far this week, Douglas. You are 6-7.
Yep.
That will bring your season total to 32, 42, and 2 pushes. Actually, let me update your best bet record. You are now 6-1 on your best bet, hitting the Steelers plus 7.5. Almost blew it there at the end. Javon Holland returns that interception. Could have been looking differently. I am 47, 33, and 1. I got a little nervous this week that I had a chance to blow. My 1 o'clock hour was not good, so I had a chance to blow my my over 500 streak that I've been having. But
Yep.
Douglas, why don't we just we're not going to touch on every game like we did in the last recap, but that's just we'll get our two teams out of the way. Your thoughts on the Steelers? It just ended not a couple hours ago, but a decent while ago here. Your thoughts on the Steelers' performance on Sunday Night Football?
For starters, Matt Canada is the main focal point of the team's demise this far through 7 games.
Well, I thought Tomlin had a hand in it. I thought he had a hand in every decision.
Don't worry, I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, you said the main thing.
I do think he is the main thing. Based off of him being scapegoated. That being said, it all got to fall on the head coach in my book. That's the guy who ultimately gets the final say.
Yeah.
Look, the defense played great, except they could have had 4 interceptions and dropped all of them.
Yeah, they got to work on that.
Yeah, I mean, if a ball hits you, you were taught this. Every kid's taught this. If it hits your hands, what are you supposed to do?
You're supposed to catch it.
Okay, so that's for starters. Second, I'm big on the Kenny Pickett train. Anyone who's been watching me knows that. Those 2 interceptions you threw, Kenneth Shane Pickett, you cannot do that. You can't throw that ball. I understand it. I get it. Mistakes happen. There's a learning curve. You're a rookie. You've only started 3 games. I get it. You cannot do that. I'm telling him. People are telling him. If I had to put this game specifically on anyone, I put it on Kenny.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can blame it on him all you want. There's a saying, dance with the one who brought you.
Yep.
Don't turn your back on whoever helped you get to the dance.
I agree.
Kenny helped you get to the dance in that game.
Yeah.
He put them in a position. I understand. Quarterback is supposed to, not make mistakes. I get it. There's a lot of high pressure in the NFL. He was the only I understand the defense played great, but offensively, that run game was not going anywhere. He had to put it in his hands, and he played as well as I thought he could. I understand the 2 mistakes, but he was playing great that most of that game. I can check his stats, but I understand that the 2 interceptions are going to be damning. He's a rookie quarterback.
I know.
People need to stop treating him like he's supposed to be an all-pro already. I'm not just talking about you, but people get on him. Like, the things that he's doing, I understand people want wins. People want to see wins right away. He's playing a lot of good football right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had one touchdown, 3 interceptions, not great, but 72% completion percentage. That's way above the NFL average right now. You'd like to see a little higher on his average per completion. It's under 6 yards.
He definitely showed flashes like the back shoulder fade to Pickens. Beautiful. Beautiful.
But there was also some miscommunications with there was one where Claypool he went in between his zone coverage.
And he should have sat in the soft
He should
spot.
have sat
Yep.
and Pickett threw it, and he kept going, and it was wide open. So
I know.
I don't think I think blaming a rookie quarterback who's making his third start
Yes.
in the NFL
Yes.
and who's just coming off a concussion is a little bit hasty this early.
No, I understand totally. I'm not trying to be hard on him, but I need to air it out to feel better because he was also in a position to win that game. Could have probably did things a little differently that could have changed the outcome. Multiple people could have though.
But
I'm not just blaming just him.
And another play that just came to mind. The throw to Freiermuth over the middle to get you set up down there.
Yep,
was
beautiful.
An unbelievable throw.
Yeah, couldn't have put it any better.
I just think people, especially Steelers fans, need to slow down with their criticism of him because he's doing a lot of good things. They're just not, and the stuff about finishing games, that'll come. As long as he's doing, as long as there's meat on the bones, it doesn't have to taste good just yet.
Yep.
But as long as there's meat on those bones, you're fine.
No, I agree.
My takeaway from the Steelers game, though, is, and you might not like this, I think they make the playoffs. I really do. I really do.
What?
I'm looking at the second half of the schedule. I'm looking.
Okay, hold on.
I'm looking at the second half of the schedule.
Hold on. You pause for 1 second for me. I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah, I'll tell you. They're gonna win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're gonna win. They'll win 8 of their last 9 games.
No.
Yep.
Oh my God,
yep.
Trey.
Nope. They'll win them.
Okay, so
wait, hold on. Is Watt going to be back?
Watt comes back for the Saints. He will be back from there on out.
Let me give a disclaimer to this. If Watt plays after the bye week till the end of the season, they win 8 of 9 games.
So which is the one they lose? Which one specifically are you talking?
I'll say that they lose at Baltimore on New Year's Day. That's the one. That's the one that they lose.
So you got them going. Lost to the Eagles bye week, so the 2-6.
Sure.
And then you got them sweeping Cincy again.
Hold on, Saints suck.
Okay.
You get the Cincinnati Bengals at home, who you already beat. You got Watt back for that game against a terrible offensive line.
Okay.
The Colts suck right now.
Okay.
Atlanta's nothing. They're tough, but they're nothing special.
Okay.
You get Baltimore at home.
Yep.
I'll take Steelers at home any week. You're at Carolina. Carolina's an absolute dumpster fire. Only one team can lose to them, and they just did. Las Vegas stinks. The only team that Las Vegas can beat is the Texans.
Okay.
You'll lose to Baltimore, of course. Okay. I mean, they're away. It's a tough game, and you're home against Cleveland, who will have Deshaun Watson, but who knows what he'll be like? No one knows what they're going to be like with him yet.
Okay.
So I think I really think once they get Watt back, Kenny Pickett will have some experience under his belt. I think they go on a run.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I'll be sick to my stomach.
So what? That'll be 10-7, and they'll squeak into a playoff spot.
Do you think they win the division with that, or get a wild card?
No, I think Cincinnati's about to take off.
Okay.
Cincinnati will lose to Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, but I think they will do just fine.
Okay.
All right. Let's
jump to the Cowboys.
Yeah. Not good. Not offense. The offense has so many issues right now.
Okay.
They can't. The fact that they couldn't run the ball better against that Detroit Lions front, who's given up just probably like 200 yards a game rushing, was concerning. Dak did not look good. He didn't look. The first play of the game could not have been set up anymore perfectly. play action. The entire defense bid on it. He rolls out. Yeah, he was right-handed quarterback rolling out to the left. He turns, he sets his feet, and he overthrows Noah Brown by like 10 feet. It
Okay.
was bad. I think he's not ready yet. I understand he played a whole game and he didn't get hurt. I don't think he's fully. I think he's probably about like 80%, but he just wants to be back.
Do you think it's rust, or do you think he's just not fully
No,
healthy?
I don't think his fan is. I don't think his hand's completely healthy.
Okay.
So I think that's one thing that's holding him back. Although I will say the thing I'm most happy about, and I've been telling you about this guy for a while, Sam Williams had a breakout game. He's been
Yeah.
getting better and better every week. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, and I don't know. He didn't recover. Dorrance Armstrong did, but he took over that game in the second half. If he can play like that with Parsons on the other side, I don't really know how they don't hold teams under like 14 points.
Yeah.
Their defensive line is so special. Like it's so fun to watch because I think most teams, and you probably feel this as a Steelers fan, and I used to feel like it as a Cowboys fan. Like right now as a Steelers fan, not when like Watt and when you had Watt and Dupree and those guys, like when like you had that pass rush, or even go back to the Harrison and Woodley days or something like that. When you know your team has a pass rush, you're a lot more calmer watching the game.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, we'll just get him. Like once you get to third down, you're like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
It's a different feel when your team does not have a pass rush. Every third down is pins and needles.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's how I feel with the Steelers right now. When
That's what I
Watt's in
mean.
there, you understand. When
With
it's not, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah. So right now there's just no fear watching this team because as long as you get a team into third and longer than 5, you feel really good about getting off the field and getting Dak back the ball.
Yep.
I just need this offense to hit a groove. I don't know what they need. Really, they have all the tools. I just don't know. If this offense stays where it's at, Kellen Moore might have to go.
Wow. Wow.
Because all the pieces are there. It's just not working.
Yeah.
I understand Dak first game back. Don't overreact, but it was not good.
Their defense is so tough, man.
I know. But like the scary thing is if they go into like Philly last week and they, if they give up 2 touchdowns early, they might be dead. They might not be able to overcome that offensively.
Yeah.
So that's a little worrisome. But no, the defense is very, very fun to watch right now. And I think they might just end up they might Undertaker type bury Justin Fields next week with that offensive line they have. He might be dead. He might be
a buried alive match.
He might be in a buried alive match. Him versus the Cowboys front 7. Let's get into shout outs. I guess I gotta go with the Panthers, huh? Shout out Panthers. Did not think this team had a shot at winning the game. Now I'll shout them out for the sakes of I had them plus 10.5, but I did take a teaser and I thought to myself this morning, I was putting in the teaser. By the way, it's still perfect besides this leg. I'm thinking, what's more likely to happen? Tom Brady rebounds from playing horrible in Pittsburgh. He has a full week of practice. He's not going to a Kraft family wedding. He has a whole week of practice. What are the chances this Bucs team gets back to normal and they just blow the doors off of this dead Carolina Panthers team by like 30?
Yep.
Or the Panthers end up winning somehow. I'll take my chances with the Bucs. Yeah. I teased the Bucs down to -1. So I just I needed them to win. I could have teased the Panthers to like plus 25 or something.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it until the second half when they were down 7-0 or whatever it was. I didn't even think I was like, this game's like interesting because I didn't think Brady. I was never worried about Brady losing that game. It was 14-0 in the second half, and I'm like, or in the start of the fourth quarter, I was like, okay, Brady's going to turn this on now. It's over. Oh my goodness, that
It just
team,
never came.
that Bucks team, Todd Bowles is gonna get fired.
He should.
He's gonna get fired. He's no like if they play like that for another couple weeks, he will be fired.
He should be.
And they'll put Arians right back in there
They should. That's what they should have done a while ago.
because you can't have that much talent on a roster and lose to a team that lacks talent like the Carolina Panthers does.
Yeah.
So that is my first shout out. Carolina plus 10.5. I know it didn't sound like much of a shout out to Carolina, but they were one of my easy ones on the card.
I have one and only one shout out. I texted you today at 12:42 p.m. right before the 1:00 kickoffs, and I told you I was flipping from Atlanta to Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you go into that? I want to hear about that and the Jags flip.
The Jags flip, I just felt honestly, you personally sold me with the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
The things you said, the numbers you gave, you sold me with them. So
the-
I ultimately shot myself there.
If it wasn't for 2 red zone turnovers by the Jags, they probably do cover that spread and win the game.
I agree. So not a bad mishap there at all. That's why they're not going to be fraud. They're not my fraud or anything like that. I'm not airing them. I'm not doing nothing. But I'm going to shout out Cincinnati. What went into that for me is I have been telling you they're coming. They have lost a couple of games by a play, not even a possession, but a play. They're coming. And I thought this was the week. I had that gut instinct, so I just went with it. I flipped from Atlanta to Cincy minus 6.5. Man, did Joe Burrow look awesome. Awesome.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
My fantasy team, I think I put up 170 points because of him.
Yeah, unbelievable. Burrow, T. Boyd.
When he has time.
Oh, yeah. Give him time and it's all day.
I think I probably should have made the Cincy Atlanta over my lock of the week because that was never in doubt. But yeah, when you give him time, it's over. That's why and I understand you wanted to pair him up with Jamar Chase and whatnot, and people thinking like that's the move. I've always thought he's like Brady.
Yeah.
If you give Brady time, he will just pick you apart.
Yep.
He doesn't need to have. He doesn't need. Burrow does not need Jamar Chase to be good.
No.
He does not need T. Higgins to be good. If you put the Steelers receiving core on the Bengals, if you just flip flop receiving cores, Burrow and you give Burrow the Eagles offensive line, they win every game.
Yeah.
Because if he has time to make the plays, it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, Burrow. Like I said, I think the Steelers go on a run, and I think the Bengals go on a run, but the Bengals are just a little too far ahead right now for the Steelers to make it up.
Okay.
Let's see here. Another shout out. Gotta give the Seahawks. The Giants were one of my teams making money. The Seahawks, Geno Smith is for real.
Oh yeah.
Geno Smith. I don't know. It's gonna be weird to see because he is 32 years old. So
yeah.
You can't give him a crazy contract because he's not going to be. I don't know how much longer he's going to be this good, but I could see them in the offseason saying, "Hey, we'll give you 2 years, $42 million."
Yeah,
something like that. Okay, and then that'll give us time. This this offseason, I think they might still draft a quarterback at some point, but they won't draft one in the first round.
No, yeah, no, I wouldn't.
So, but the way that they're playing right now, Geno Smith is absolutely balling. He is playing not as well as any quarterback, but I think if you're just power ranking quarterbacks, he's top 12. I think
sure.
top 12
for sure.
So, if he's playing like that, and I understand the 49ers are going to win that conference. Don't think it's crazy to think the Seahawks could sneak into a wild card round.
I don't think so either.
So they're a team to keep an eye out for how they play over the next couple of weeks.
Something to add on to that. Kenneth Walker is real.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
That dude can run.
He can run like the wind, dude. Unbelievable.
I mean,
and their O-line's nothing to call home about.
No. But
So
their next 3 weeks, I mean, if they can go 2-1 in their next 3 weeks, they could have something because they're 4-3 right now. So that'll get them to 6-4.
yep.
And they're the end of their season, they're at the end of the year schedule, and it's actually not. It's a little tough, but it's not crazy. They're home against the Giants, which Giants are tough right now, but at least you get them at home.
Yep.
To Arizona, and they're home against the Bucks.
Yeah.
So I think if they can go 2-1 in that stretch, they could fight to be in a spot and towards the end of the year because they should be able to beat Carolina towards the end. They play the Rams twice, which what are the Rams aren't anything special right now. They
Yep.
play the Raiders. The Raiders are off a bye. The Raiders aren't anything special right now. I think this team could be like the 7 seed in the West or in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
So
I could see it.
do you have any more shout outs?
Nope. Just one.
All right. Let's get into the airing of grievances.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it.
I'm gonna say myself here. Why did I bet against the Giants? Why did I bet against the Giants? This team, I've learned right now. I kind of want to see what the line is for that Seahawks Giants game because if the Giants are dogs, it can't be too crazy of a line right now because I think Vegas finally has to start respecting them.
Mhm.
If I had to guess the line, I'm guessing Seahawks.
you know-
What?
Do you know where the game's at?
It's in Seattle.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Seahawks are like 1.5 point favorites.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
So, and if it's like that make me. If it's anything more, if it's a field goal, I'm taking the Giants. But I don't know if Vegas will make that same mistake again. So but yeah, it has to be me this week. I have to be my Aaron agreements because I had a formula. And I thought I could outsmart my own formula and say they've been covering, 5 out of the first 6 weeks. I have to take them not to cover here. And Dayball's just a man. Dayball is.
I love that dude.
He's like a mythical creature at this point. He's like the troll under the bridge that has like a secret recipe.
Yeah.
That you need to get in a video game. You need to go see the troll under the bridge. He's short and stocky, but guess what? He knows how to win football games.
He does, dude.
Your Aaron agreements.
Yeah, my one and only airing, Tom Brady. I didn't bet you guys. I didn't bet on the Bucks. I told you today I'll be taking the Panthers.
Mhm.
Didn't care what the line was. I like the Panthers. Shout out Panthers. Dude, I know you're getting a divorce. Nobody is questioning your greatness.
I don't think that's it. I think it's something else.
Oh, I do too. I'm getting there. I'm going to agree with what you said a couple episodes ago. I'm ready to go there. I know you're getting a divorce. No one is disputing you are the greatest of all time. I don't think you or I are arguing that. I don't even think there's an argument to be made.
Yeah.
He is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The cliff is here.
Oh,
The cliff is here.
I think we passed the cliff a month ago.
And not only is it a cliff, it's not a slow fall.
No,
He is plummeting off of that thing.
this is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. I mean, he's free falling
Yeah.
and there's no stopping.
And a reason for it isn't so much his play, really.
Yeah.
It's this offense that he's in is not a recipe for a 45-year-old quarterback to be successful.
It's not.
You have to be able to run the ball very effectively.
Yep.
I think, honestly, if Tom Brady right now played on the Cleveland Browns, he would be much better.
I agree.
If he could hand the ball off 30 times a game and run play action and dice up a defense doing that stuff, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But with this interior three of their offensive line can get no movement right now. Shaq Mason, I don't care that they added him. They can't get movement on the interior. And if you can't do that in the NFL, I don't care what play you're running. I don't care if you're running a jet sweep to the outside. If you don't get movement with your interior three, you will never win football games.
Yeah, they're missing specifically one person. They are missing Jensen so desperately right now. But Brady, he doesn't look like Tom Brady anymore. We're finally there. I think the cliff is here. I think he has fallen. I think he is plummeting off of that thing without a parachute, and he's about to splat. So Brady is my airing.
I think you knew where I was going to go with this one. Aaron Rodgers,
I'm following you.
You absolute scumbag. Listen, close your eyes. Forget about the NFL this season. I just want you to picture in your head a 3-game schedule on the Packers, on this 3-game nugget here for the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Aaron Rodgers is fully healthy for all these games. Giants, Jets, Commanders. What do the Packers go in that 3? Just in your head. Forget about the NFL.
Oh,
what do they go in?
3-0.
They're 0-3 in that stretch.
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
I know.
And I remember, I watched a lot of that game. It was up flashing on Red Zone a lot today. Listen, those Packers receivers had a lot of drops.
Yeah.
But this Green Bay Packers team is just not good.
They're not.
I kind of want to check the stats because I'm guessing the Commanders had a lot of time of possession in this game. If you can just run the ball and control the clock, you can beat this team. Because there's no world. Washington, without their starting quarterback, without their best player in Chase Young, beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Almost completely healthy Green Bay Packers. I think who was the only person missing for Green Bay? Christian Watson.
Bakhtiari didn't play.
I don't care.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Without Chase Young, that doesn't matter. If Chase Young played and he killed a backup tackle, that might be a different story. But Chase Young didn't play.
Yep.
So it's absolutely pitiful that they lost. Yeah, I mean, 37 minutes to 22 minutes of possession for Washington. That's the recipe to beat them. Just run the ball, keep Rodgers off the field. You can beat this team, and that's not crazy to say that because their run defense is terrible.
Yeah,
their run defense is absolutely terrible. They gave up 364 yards to Taylor Heineke in that offense. 364 yards to that offense. I mean, I don't know if you've spoken to him, but our Packers friend has gone radio silent. I
have not.
So I don't even know what he's thinking right now. And I'm sure he's been watching every minute of it. So
yeah,
this team, let's see. And it's not getting actually, and I'll get into this my takeaway. It ain't getting any easier.
No,
they go to the Bills on Sunday night next week. So we could be looking at a 3-5 Green Bay Packers team.
Yes, I saw the early line earlier on that game. You want to take a guess?
I think I saw it too. Is it 10.5?
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of points, but I don't know.
I don't know either. Right now, how do you take Green Bay?
Well,
Buffalo's at home and they had an extra week to prep. How do you take Green Bay on that?
I understand that. The only thing I will say is I think I'd rather have a team that just runs the ball. What do the Bills run the ball 4 times a game?
Yeah.
So I mean, it might work out for the Packers that they're playing a team that doesn't run the ball.
They very well could.
Let's move on to fraud. Or no, we're not doing frauds of the week. We are doing dead. Dead. Let's call it dead team walking. How about that? Dead team walking. A team in the NFL that has 0 chances of making the playoffs. We'll do this every week until it gets that time.
Oh boy. 1
team a week that they are dead. Douglas, your first dead team walking.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Vegas Raiders.
Okay. Even coming off a win,
don't care. They're dead.
Okay.
They are dead. Come off a win against Houston, barely. Really, I mean, the Josh Jacobs show carried you. Other than that, nothing going. If I'm McDaniels, I'm running Josh Jacobs until the wheels fall off. Can't stop him.
Yeah.
It works so well. Run him 1,000 times a game. I don't care. Until he gets hurt, pound the ball down their throat. Problem is, they don't do that. They try and get Carr in a groove. They try and do this, do that. The defense is very inconsistent. I don't think McDaniels is quite the answer. I'm not saying he's the reason that they're losing either. There's multitudes of reasons. I just think the hill to come back now is a little too far gone. I was between the Raiders and the Broncos. I just think the Raiders have a slightly harder schedule. So I'm going to go with the Raiders here. I think that they are dead in the water and they are the dead team walking.
This is an easy one, and it's hard for me to use this because I was so high on them preseason, but you just can't ignore the fact that this team's 1-5 and their next stretch of games is not easy. The Lions are dead. The Lions are dead. They're a dead team walking. Dan Campbell's a guy who's not going to have a job, sadly, come middle of January. He's just not going to have a job. Let's run through this next. We'll say the next 5 games for the Lions. Remember, they're 1-5.
Okay.
They're home against the Dolphins. Win or loss here? Give me the
Probably a
against-
loss.
home against the Packers.
Loss.
At the Bears.
Loss.
At the Giants.
Loss.
Home against the Bills on Thanksgiving.
That's a for sure L.
So that's a 1-5. That's a 1-10.
If they're going to win any of those games, to be honest, if I had to pick one, it's Miami. Just throwing that out there.
I think it's the Packers
Wow.
because they do. You can ask any Packers fan. The Lions play the Packers 10 times harder than the Bears play the Packers.
Fair.
It is always tight, especially when they play in Detroit. It's always tight. So, yeah, well, I mean, I think they could beat the Bears because I don't think the Bears are anything special. But any of those home games, I think they could beat the Packers.
Okay.
So that makes them 1-10.
Oh
So
my
if with
the
your
fighting
prediction.
kneecaps go down in
Yeah.
flames.
So let's get into our last segment. One big takeaway. My takeaway, Douglas, is going to be very similar to the segment. I'm not pronouncing them dead just yet,
Okay.
but I'm going to have the take that the Green Bay Packers do not make the playoffs.
Okay.
Listen to this schedule for them, okay?
Yep.
At the Bills this week.
I
What do we think there?
I actually, right now, if I had to pick life or death, I think they win.
You think they beat Buffalo in Buffalo?
I do.
I think
Continue
that's a
though.
little bit-
Continue.
At Detroit, a team that they would probably beat, but
When?
a team that's going to rough them up,
Tough.
a
tough,
team that's going
but
to
a
play
win.
physical. They're home against the Cowboys.
I think they lose that game.
They're home against the Titans.
I think they win that game.
No, they don't stop Henry. They don't stop Henry.
It's a good point. They can't stop the run.
They can't stop Henry's just going to 4-yard gain them to death.
Okay.
They're at the Eagles.
Loss.
They're at the Bears.
When?
Yeah. They're home against the Rams.
I'm gonna say loss.
They're at the Dolphins.
I'm gonna also say loss.
They're home against the Vikings.
I think the Vikings clean sweep them. I'm gonna say loss.
They're already eliminated. Well, we don't even have to bring up the home game against the Lions at the end of the year. They're already eliminated based off of your picks.
Okay.
Like this, I'm not saying they're dead just yet. They still have if they're competitive against this Bills team, if they keep it within 4 points against this Bills team, I might leave them alone. I might leave them awake. But if they get blown out by 14 in Buffalo or 14 plus in Buffalo, it's done. It's
Yeah.
over. Go ahead with your one big takeaway of week 8.
Yeah, my one big takeaway is there are 3 teams in the NFL that everyone
7.
needs to worry about. 3 teams.
Can I guess them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chiefs.
Yep.
Bills.
Yep.
Eagles.
Yep. Nailed it. Those are your 3 teams right now. It's a 3-headed race. I understand Buffalo beat Kansas City in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs rebounded well today. You and I thought that they would lose.
I think they would lose, but I just
It'd
felt
be
like
a lot
that,
closer.
I felt like that line was weird
It was a teaser.
because if you would have asked me to bet the game, I would have. Or if you would have asked me to guess the line, I would have said Chiefs by 6.5, 5.5.
Yeah,
The fact that
sure.
it was under a field goal made me very cautious to take the Chiefs.
absolutely. That's the whole main reason I did not either. I don't know what to think of the NFL season this far through 7 weeks.
Weird.
Very weird. A lot of teams I think could benefit highly from making moves at the deadline. One sneaky team that I think people need to watch out for. I know they didn't do great today. San Francisco's coming. Let McCaffrey learn the playbook. Give him some time. Shanahan's play calling. The only thing that can hold them back, and it has before, is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
That is it. They're coming. The Eagles are real. The Bills are real. And the Chiefs are real. That is my takeaway right now. I don't know who I like in the Super Bowl. If I had to give an early Super Bowl matchup right now in the recap, I'm going to take the 49ers versus the Chiefs rematch.
Wow.
I don't think Buffalo has what it takes to beat Kansas City in the playoffs. Home or away, it does not matter.
I would hate to see that. I hate to see Super Bowl repeats.
I do too.
So,
But right now, that is where I'm leaning.
all right, that was it for the NFL recap. I said week 8 like a minute ago. I feel like an idiot. It was week 7 in the NFL. So, all right, we will be back later in the week with our normal 2 episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow us on socials at Pack Boys Podcast. You know, like the TikTok videos, share the TikTok videos, whatever you guys can do for us. We very much appreciate it. Douglas, anything for the people?
Just thank you guys for watching and enjoy the rest of football season because it's dwindling upon us quickly, guys.
Yeah, well, NFL will be there. College, you like if you can set aside some time on your Saturdays, you have to.
Yep.
This is when college football season is going to start getting good. You're going to start getting these conference games where teams are, 1 loss undefeated, maybe just 2 losses, but they're going to be good conference games. So
absolutely
definitely want to be watching that. All right, we'll see you guys.